Hey everybody, it's week 3 and 4. So depending on when you get this, you might be seeing this 2 times, which is helpful because we have a lot to cover. So the 12-week year is based on a book. And it's a book that basically, it's not that it's the best book written. It's not that it's like some magic formula, but what it is when we put it with the other things that I do, which is prosperity mindset, and we start pushing it together in a group as accountability, it is an excellent tool to be able to get people to learn how to execute on specific outcomes regularly. And and what it does if you actually do all of the details. And that's the thing. To be successful, you have to do the things. And that's why it's great to do an accountability because it's a lot of little steps that we don't normally do every single day that don't that make it so we don't build momentum. And that's the key in what we're doing. So again, I'm going to kind of remind you of this one, right? It's the weekly scorecard that we put in the tactics. Whoops. We put in the tactics and then we check mark, did we get them and what percentage of the score, right? Did I get 100%? Did I get 80%? So forth. Your goal is to find tactics that you will do every single day. And that's where the momentum comes. Your score is just based on how many days did you complete. So if you completed 7 out of 7, you have 100% score. If you did 1 out of 7, you have a low score. So when you are looking at this, this is what is there. So you're looking at your tactics, and that's why I go, look, some people are only going to be able to get to one goal. Some of you are going to work two. I don't even expect you to do more than three. Doing more than three is kind of difficult. So the tactics are right. How am I going to do that? So my goal was that I wanted more clients, right? I needed to know more. I needed more clients to know about who I was, more people to know about who I was. So I went, okay, you know what? I'm going to, it's 12 weeks. I'm going to set a number that I need to meet 250 more people. Okay. In 12 weeks, that's 84 days. So I just figured out how many people I need to meet. And then I started, so that the tactic, right? Meet 10 new people a day. So if I fall short, I'm still going to be there. So it is meeting 10 new people a day. What does that look like? So then I have my tactic. And then in a separate sheet, right? On a separate sheet are really the tasks. So when you are looking at that, sometimes a tactic is to meet new people. Well, I kind of need to meet certain people. So I need to meet people in a place where I'm really comfortable, where I'm perhaps speaking or teaching or whatever, and then I can work on the tasks around that. So, can I go talk to a group or whatever that is? So a lot of you are going to be using your daily calendars on top of this, right? To go, look, here are the tactics that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and how many of them did I get done? And then the tasks you'll put in your daily to-dos. So sometimes it is the tactic that I'm doing is post on YouTube or put in, this or do that, right? You're going to put in the tactics that will lead you to where you want to go. And many of you have multiple tactics on one goal. So that's also why there's this little grid of things, right? Because you're just looking for like, how many of them did you get done? How many of those tactics are you able to move forward? So for those of you who have a health goal, that's a big one for me. So my health goal, my goal number one was right that I had to manage the stress in my life. So it's like I want to have a life that even though it's hard and stressful and crazy, that I feel good, right? So that I can feel whole. Because, right, what's the target, right? My target is to be well within. So that's always the target that I have for everybody, right? Is that, right, the archer bow, right? I'm going to pull it back. I only have to get one target, and that is to make sure I'm well within. So I had to figure out what makes me well within. Well, what gets me well within is not eating garbage, right? Or not, maybe moving my body every day or doing something that actually assists me in my ability to feel good about my life. Because when I come into the world healthier, more thoughtful, more loving, it's a lot easier to just enjoy your everyday life. So some of my tactics were eat a piece of fruit every day. Um, the tactics was move my body 20 minutes a day. The tactic is to do some sort of serenity time every day. So you can start to kind of look at your tactics and then really you'll start to kind of put them into your day. Did I do a tactic around that? Did I do something around that? And some of you have very complex things. So learning tactics is also helping you to say, oh, there's like 10 ways for me to get to my goal. And there is. And remember, we're in week 3 and 4. So there's like 65 to 70 days left. It's not that far. So you are just kind of trying it out. But what happens in week 3 and 4 is you start to realize, I have the wrong goal, or I didn't write it right. I got to rewrite it. I have to really rewrite my tactics and I have to rearrange my every day to say, I will do the things that I know will move me towards my goals first. First. That is for most people, what they are learning is that they have to put their goals on their future before everyone else. And that is a powerful tool. 12-week year is about execution, 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 accountability, accountability, accountability. But it's also about reflection and redirection. And so you're going to learn all of those things as we go forward. And we'll add things in and you'll be like, why is she putting that in there? Like, why am I looking at systems? Well, most of you already have a system about how you get up in the morning. Like everybody gets up, they get dressed, they maybe have some coffee or some breakfast or something. That's a system. You put together a system for how you're going to start your day. What most people don't have is a system of how are they going to achieve the things in their life that are most valuable to them. And I would focus on the things that are most valuable to you. And again, those valuable things often are these foundational goals. And most people don't have, when they come into 12-week year for the first time, they didn't recognize that they needed really foundational systems. And so for a small business, it might be learning how to, book appointments. We see a lot of people who sell their time that don't have a system around booking appointments properly or getting people on the books. That's why, when you go get a haircut, your hairdresser says, let's get your next appointment booked, right? Because they want that there. When in reality, they should say, here's your year of appointments. But the system doesn't always want to book out that far. But it works, right? If it's in your calendar, you will often be there, right? That's why the dentist books your appointment 6 months ahead so that they can really have you there. And most people don't move their dentist appointment, right? So using these next 2 weeks, what you will find is that some things you thought were going to be really great are actually much more simple. So the goal, again, going back to that vision, right? What's the vision that I want? And the first time if this is your first round, it's okay. You're just learning how to do it. If it's your second round or your third round or multiple rounds, every single time you get better. And you get better because the people around you are getting better. There is another wave of momentum that comes in from showing up in group and showing up with your truth, showing up with what is your struggle, what is your redirection, what is your win, what are you seeing, that your truth invites other people to share their truth. And that, I believe, is part of what makes prosperity work, is the environment of being prosperous. And the environment of being prosperous is to speak your truth, and to speak your truth in a way that allows you to, okay, let me readjust, let me reassign, let me get to a place where I can find my groove. There is no one that naturally says, "Oh, this is so simple. Oh, I don't." Mm, mm. No, no one does that because we haven't been trained to execute at this level. You have to train on this. So this is your training time. And this is putting systems together for yourself, putting time together for yourself, and building that daily momentum. You will not do as well if you do not follow the daily. And some of you on the week 1 and week 2 are like, I don't really have a system for here. No, but by week 4 you will. By week 6 you will. By week 9, what will happen is that people start kicking in to go, oh my gosh, we're almost done with 12-week year. Um, maybe I could work faster. Maybe I could do whatever. Everyone finds a rhythm, and that's also what the dailies do. So some of you in this first few weeks, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going, okay, what are all the things that lead me to this goal? That sketching it out, outlining it. Every step that you take towards your own best outcome counts. It might not be on this little list where you get to have your scorecard, but you could write it on this list. You can say, look, what is my tactic? Learn how to do the 12-week year and learn how to do it in a prosperity mindset, right? You get to change this. And these are the things that you're saying, look, I'm going to learn how to do this. And I'm going to do it in a way that's helpful. And I'm going to review it. The reviewing is critical because when you go back and just look at your week, right, this reflection, when you start doing the reflections, what can be improved, right? What went well? What you are doing is you're building a database of knowledge on you. You're building a database of knowledge that says, when I get up 15 minutes earlier, it's much easier to get my tasks done. Okay, now I can start to build that into a system. Now I can start doing that. So the reflection looks like it's fluff. It's not. It is, in business, we call it an autopsy, where I go back and just review a project that got done, and then we write down everything while the project is good. It's just autopsying your week. It's saying, what happened here, right? What happened here? And that's what you're learning. What happened to my week? What happened to all of those days that went by? What sidetracked me? What didn't? So I'll give you an example that happens a lot for people when they start managing their email, is that they find that they actually need a timer. One of these, right? They need a timer to be able to say, I can only do email for 30 minutes, and I'm going to set a time to do that email, and then I'm out. Or that they will sift their email, or they will learn to program their email to sift for them. So taking 30 minutes to learn how to get your Gmail to have all your junk mail go into a junk mail folder, that's a good tactic, right? But that's also a system. And so sometimes you guys will be looking at system building at the same time you're doing that. And system building comes around this page of really saying what can be improved. And so I'll give you just one really boring one. One of them was, right, that somebody went through and just said, I'm going to learn all the shortcuts that I can on my computer for Microsoft Word. That she works in Microsoft, and she has to go in and out of programs all day. And so one of the things that she said is, I'm going to actually take 30 minutes today and learn a shortcut every single day and try to implement it. So instead of like waiting for her computer to turn off and doing all of that, she can just go keystroke 1, 2, 3, 4, blink, and the whole screen blips out. It's an instant shutdown. It's an instant shutdown, as opposed to the whole thing going, okay, I think I'm going to shut down. I'm going to do this, whatever, right? And it was all of those small tasks that help build efficiency. When we're building a prosperity business model, it is the 3 E's, right? It is environment, efficiency, and economy. That it's no different than building the business model for you, right? So learning how to be more efficient is how you will be more prosperous. It allows the everyday tasks to be sustainable when they don't take you as long, when they are more efficient. That's one of the reasons why so many people have there's groceries delivered because they spend less, and it shows up at their door that they save the time. But what most people find about having groceries delivered is they buy less, and they buy 20 to 30% less because they're not invited in those end caps. So you're going to see online grocery get busier because they miss those sales. But what happens in your life is that you go, look, this is sacred time. Every minute of my life is important, and I need to make my important minutes do the important things. And that is the journey that you and I are on together. So, and that for me of learning action, action gives agency, right? And agency is starts at will. And will, right? Like I have the will, I have the desire to do it. Will is really helped by an accountability group, by coming in and showing up and fully being present, hearing everyone else's stories for that little bit of time. Right? It's only 4% of your day if you're staying the whole hour. So it's only 4% of an entire day in 1 week. So it's like this micro spasm of time for you to come in and have that time be for you, to be fully present and alive and with that energy. So it is the best medicine that we could offer. And it's the lowest cost medicine. It's $10. My gosh. Okay. But it is that tool to keep you in the will. And the will means that you're inspired a little bit, and that gives you agency, right? That I have some control here. That's why you do all of these papers, right? Is to build momentum, but it's to have agency over your own life. And then that agency will lead you to action. So in a prosperity mindset, those are the pieces that we're really working for. Is you must have will, you must have a desire to do it. I can't do that for you. But what can happen is there are many things that will help give you that desire because you'll feel supported and it's a loving environment and these are really cool people and they're from all over the country and that's exciting. Uh, that 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 will come into agency. And then agency is, oh yeah, I have systems. Those are where systems come in. And then action, which is also systems, but it is movement. It is the momentum. You will find that as you, usually around week 6, people will start planning their next 12-week year. That in their mind, they go, oh, I'm starting to have agency. I'm starting to have momentum. Now I get how to move this. Next time I'm going to do this. Or they'll switch. Sometimes they'll just switch in the mid to go, you know what? I thought this was my goal, but it's actually this other thing. And that's okay. So if you're still wobbling in week 3 and 4, no problem. No problem. Switch up your goals. If you pick the ones that weren't right for you, throw them away. You know, we are just here, right? To learn together, to move together, to keep moving, to learn all these aspects. This is a complex thing when it's all together, but we're just learning one ring at a time, right? We're just learning one ring at a time. We're going to push this thing to this thing and this thing to this thing, and then we're going to get a chain. So if you ever did those chains in kindergarten where we glued them together and one to the other and another one to the other and then another one to the other, right? That's all we're doing. We're making a little daisy chain of your life. Okay, well, I will see you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time. It is always an honor and a pleasure to get to hang out with you because you're a big deal, and that's fun. And I like you because you're fun. Bye.